Welcome back. So in this video, I just want to explain one concept that is actually very rare in JavaScript. It is also a new concept, and it is using the URL parameters. So for what we are going to cover in this video, I also wrote this blog actually explaining some of the concepts we are going to use, okay, so that you have this one as a cheat sheet, or you can use it anytime you forget what we did in the video. You can use this an article, a simple article, like very few lines that you can keep on remembering of what we did. So these URL params are really a nice concept to my view. And what are the URL parameters? The URL parameters, you can also call them query string parameter or URL variables. They are used to send small amounts of data from page to page. So if you are familiar with vanilla JavaScript, it is very hard to send data from one place to another. Okay, sending it from, let's say you are on the home page and you are sending it to contact page or about page, it is not easy. And this URL parameters is a new concept, and it helps us to send data from one page to another, or you can even send it from client to server via the URL. They can contain all kinds of useful information, for instance, search queries, link referrals, product information, user preferences. So you can now build the whole referral system using the client side. Okay, you can use the referral system and somehow you can manage it. We used to use PHP to get these URL parameters, but right now it is very much possible to get them. Okay, so we are going to spend in this video explaining how to use them and how useful they can become. Okay, so to give you an example here, for instance, if we had this kind of URL which says https example.com, now you see slash, we have a question mark. Let me zoom in more. We have here a question mark. You see that? We have a question mark, and then we have like product is equal shirt, and the color is equal blue, new user, and all this kind of stuff. So we can grab the query string using this window.location.search. This one can give us the query string. Okay, and down here I put the code. For instance, you say const query string is equal window.location.search, and this one, if you console.log it, it will give you this one back. It will simply console these parameters starting from question mark there, and that is the query string. Now we can go ahead and pass this query string into this object, this new URL search params. Okay, this object can give us all the URL params separated. Okay, so we can pass this query string, and when you pass it and you say, for instance, you store them in URL params, you can get new URL search params, and you pass in this string, okay, this query string we have on top here, and you can get them into here. Now this URL search params has a lot of methods. I will show you in a minute. It has a lot of methods, but the most important one to me is the get method. Okay, so the get method will return the value associated with a given search parameter, because it puts them into a key and a value. So when you pass a key here, for instance product, if you look into our params, we have like product is equal shirt. So if you just save it into that, you say, for instance, const product is equal URL params dot get, and then you pass in the product, you see you get shirt back. Okay, so I put together, we're going to work to show these examples on this small project. Okay, it's a small project, and you have our services. Let's say these can be products, they can be services, they can be rooms. If it is a hotel management system or anything, you can imagine you have a list of services on the UI, and when someone clicks on any, maybe you want to get a quotation or web development, and you want to send them on the quotation page, you want to exactly know which service they clicked. It is so bad when you reach on the quotation page and you are asking them what they clicked on, or to select the service again when actually they clicked on that service. Okay, someone he clicks on graphic design, he wants graphic design. If he clicks on SEO, he wants SEO. So if you click on, maybe it was a room and it was room number 1, like the website is showing rooms, room 1, room 2, room 3, and someone clicks on room 1, you do not want to ask them again what did you click on by telling them to select the room they selected. So you can pick that information on the click. Like here, if I click like on this one, now you see it takes me to the quotation page, but it is showing another image and even a different service. So what I would want is, if someone clicks on for instance on a service, let's say he clicked on web development, I would want on the detail page or on the quotation page to actually have the image that he clicked on and even the service here, so that when you're just getting here the stuff, he can only put in the full name, maybe the phone number, and even this service we can populate it since we have it here. We can add it here, and then when he submits, we have it. We can just get all this information to our email. And by the way, if you don't know how to submit a form like this to send you a quotation direct in your inbox, you should watch one of my videos. There is a video for sending emails. Okay, you can just go and check it on my YouTube channel. You can check that. You will see you can send a quotation form or any form from HTML without using any backend. Okay, and you submit it and to send you an email of the quotation. So moving on, let's start our project. What we want is, you have seen the analogy. I want to click on this and I want to get all the information from this service this person clicked. I want to pass this information from this page. When someone clicks here, I want to pass information from this page. I pass this information to the quotation page. Okay, and then I can use this information to display it here. Okay, let's look at my code right now. So this is the code that is displaying in the browser. I have images that you are seeing here, 3 of them, one for graphics, another SEO and web. I have 2 files, the index. The first one is index.html, and this one is simply showing all those images. Okay, there is nothing complicated. We have this header, which is having the title and this row name. Okay, which is this one. Let me just go back. Which is this? This is the header, service header, this one. Okay, it is the service header, and then we have the real services. I've put them in the anchor tag so that if you click anywhere, it can actually work. Okay, and inside each service there is an image. Okay, you can see there is this image, there is a title and the button. Okay, and I have 3 services, as we can see. Okay, now the first step is, if you look at the blog here, you can attach all these values in the URL by using a question mark. So you see, we have HTTP, and you simply put a question mark and then you pass this information. So for instance, on our project, we want to get the information about the photo and the name of the service that that person clicked. If you wanted other things like price, you can add all that information, it is okay. But for now, I just want to keep only onto these 2 properties, the image and this one. Okay, so I can just go ahead. Okay, I can just simply go ahead here and just do like how. So for each service, I want to send things to the quotation page. So you can see I have the quotation page here, and I'm just passing it here as an anchor tag here. So I'm just going to come on this anchor tag, and I'm just going to add all this information there. So simply put a question mark, okay, and then start putting your information. The first one, I want to put the service title or service name. So I can just pass name, or you could just call it title. Let's call it maybe title, service title, and I put equal signs and simply put the name of the service. Okay, and I can just say web development, or you can just even call it web. Okay, I can call it web or web development, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to say here is equal to web. That is enough. And then I'm just going to put also the image. So the image URL is this one. I can copy it, simply copy. I'm just going to just copy like this, Control C, and I'm just going to say and. So use the and to separate, and you can say image, okay, URL, and is equal, and then you simply paste that. So you see I'm passing two things, the title of the service, and you don't need to pass in the whole thing and you put spaces. Just put web and we'll compare, and then we'll render web development. So just put like something like web, and then the image URL, you see I've attached it, and I'm just going to go to the same thing to the second service, copy this. Let me go to the second service, which is web design, graphic design. This is graphic design. So I'm just going to go here on this quotation. I'm just going to paste it here. Just like that. We are going to the quotation page, okay, /quote.html. we pass in the title. This one is graphic, okay, and then the image URL, just simply copy this, Control C, just paste this URL here, okay, and let's do the same thing. Let's do the same thing, and I don't know if this has a dot. Okay, okay, that is okay. These images are huge, they are taking time to load, and that is really bad, but always optimize your images before using them. For my case, I did not do, but always do, please. So I'm just going to come here and do the same here. Just simply paste it here, and here we are passing, this is SEO, the title, and then here the service, the image, the pass is here. So just simply copy this and then paste it here on the image URL, and you do not need to put them in quotes. I know people are going to start like putting them in quotes. There is no need of putting in quotes. Simply just put the name and put the value. If you want to put more values like price, simply use and. So you can just say and then you put price, and then you're like is equal to 800. Okay, so this is how you can pass the price. You do not need to put it in quotes or anything. Just put and to put in another property. I'm just going to remove that. So now after putting this, if I click on any of these images, you will see that information is being passed. If I click on this, now if you check in the URL on top here, the information is being passed to this page. You see, I see title is web, image URL is this one. I'm receiving this data on this page. So the only thing I want is to get it from there, and then I render it here. Okay, I just change this image, change this name of the service, and I also change this populate the service here. Okay, so how do we do that? So I put, of course, the code here in JavaScript. The first thing is to grab the query string, okay, and that is very easy. Let's first create here a new a new file, app.js, and it is only the quote that needs it. So in the quote, by the way, on the code for the quote is here. I have section quotation, it has a heading, and then it has this image I'm showing on top, which we are going to change with this name of the service here and the form that we have down here. So on top here, before the body, I'm just going to say script, and the source is app.js, and I can now open this app now, app.js, like this. First of all, you can just alert to really know that it is working. So I just say alert working, so that you understand that JavaScript is really working on this page. Yep, you can see, and it's saying working. I'm just going to click OK. Now the first thing we can do is getting const query string. So you just get the query string, and the query string we can get it from window. It is very easy. Window.location.search. Okay, this one should give us the query string. And let me just go ahead and console.log query string. So just console.log query string, like so. And let's go to the browser, press F12 to bring the tools. And I don't need to make it responsive. You can work on the responsive, but I'm happy with this. And now if you look in the console, look in the console what we have. We have the whole query string. Okay, we have the query string from the question mark. All the information including the question mark, we have it here. So what we need is now next is to extract the URL params. Okay, that is what we want. To separate them instead of having them in this whole thing. We want to separate them and put them. So you can just say const URL params is equal to new. So use new. Okay, new URL search params. Okay, and then takes in a query string, just like that. Now if you console.log this one, you might not see them. Okay, you can try to console this, you might not see them, but what we can see is something like this. So they tell you URL params and they give you the size. So they're trying to tell you you sent two URL params, title and the URL. So there are two of them. They give you the size, and if you try to see inside, you have a bunch of methods that it has. It has all these methods: append, delete, entries for each, get all, has, keys, set, and all this stuff here. But the one we want is this get. Okay, this get can get us any of these properties we need. For instance, okay, so we can now use on this, we can say now get some URL params using these ones, because we now have them and there are two of them. So if you just go back to the blog, you see we have now this step. We have the params and there are two for our case. Now if you see, now you can get the using the get method, we can get individual param that we passed. For instance, product will be your params dot get, and then what you are getting, you pass in the name of the key that is the name of the param you have here. For instance, if you wanted the title, so you can just say title const title. Okay, that is service title. You can just say is equal to URL params dot, then you use the get method, and then you pass in the key. Okay, the key that is here, which is here, is title. So you pass in the title. So pass in title, and now if I console.log title, and you'll see it is web. Let me just go back here, and you see it is web. Okay, I can also get the image URL. So just say const image URL is equal to URL params, and then say dot get, and then we pass in the key that we used, or the key that we used here, which is image URL. You can even copy it from there. Come here, the key must be matching, just like that, and let's console.log image URL, and you see we have the image. Okay, so now the next thing, after you have gotten the stuff, you can now start doing all these things here. Okay, so for instance, I can just name something depending on this one. You get it? I can just say service title. So I'm just come here and create a variable. For instance, I'm just going to say let's service title service title here is equal to empty at first. Okay, I can just say service title is equal to empty, and then afterwards, if the title, I can just say here and make if statement if title is equal to web. Okay, and I want to change now. I want to say service title is equal to web development. I guess it will work now. So let me just come down here and a console.log service title, and I can do else. Since we can just say else if. Can just say else if. Okay, we can just say if, or you can just write them really individual if statements. Okay, you can just do something still like this. You do 3 ifs. If title is equal to SEO, and this one you call it search engine optimization. Okay, you can just do something like this, optimization. Let me hope this is not Z or something. Optimize. Okay, and if it is graphic, and then here you just see this is going to be graphic design. So you can just do this if to help you set, instead of sending this whole in the title. Remember, the title we made them short, so you can just do this if to actually know the real service. So to know if it is web, it is web development. Like we really know the service title. And let's see what is my service title, and you can see here is web development. Okay, let me go back here, and I want to choose another one. I want to choose a graphic design. So I'm clicking on graphic design, and you can see the service title is graphic design. So it is just rendering it the way we want. That is great. So now next is getting our data from JavaScript. So we have data from this side. Want to send this data actually to the code so that we change. Okay, I just want to change. So what we can do first is we can change this service here. I can just give this one an ID. You can use ID or you can use class. It doesn't matter. Okay, I'm just going to use IDs. I'm just going this one service title. Okay, just like that. Now, not to confuse it, let's give it something else. In fact, let me just use it as a class. Okay, let me just name it as a class, not an ID, and this doesn't need to be camel cased. I can just say service title. Okay, just like this. So I can select it using this class in JavaScript. I can just come on top here. I like selecting everything on top. So const, okay, const page, let's just say page title. I'm just going to create something else. Page title is equal to document document.query selector, and I'm selecting this dot service title, just like that. And if you are not sure, you can actually console.log page title so that you see it here. You see the page title is this one, okay. And the only thing we want to do is want to replace it. So want to replace it with service title, okay. So we can just come down after we have gotten the service. After this if statements, you can just come here and let me just come down here, and you can just say now page title dot text content is equal to service title. Since we have already gotten our service title, so I can set that service title to be the text content of this page title, okay. So by doing this, okay, you are just setting this to come here, and you can see it is graphic design, and here is graphic design. Now if you think it is a coincidence, we can just go and choose another one like SEO, like that. Just click on SEO and we see if it is working. Okay, let's first change this one thing, it is not correct. What did we send on SEO? Title is SEO, okay, title is SEO. Yep, looks like we sent a correct one. And let's confirm here on SEO if title is equal SEO, and we are sending, what are we sending here? SEO. If this is SEO, okay, so if title is equal to SEO, service title is search engine optimization, graphics. Okay, so let's just confirm. So we have here web. Did I click on the right one? Let me just hope I clicked on the right one. Okay, let's just refresh. I want to click on this down one, this one. It is SEO. Okay, yeah, it is working. So you can see we have search engine optimization, and we have here search engine optimization, and we are getting it, of course, using our if statements here. And after getting it, we are now sending it to the page title here. So next is the image, because we are actually also getting the image, okay. We're also getting the image. We want to get the page image. So I'm just going to come here in the quote. So we have this image here. I can give it also an ID. Let me just give it an ID, or a class can still do the same thing. I'm just going to say service image, service image, okay. Okay, so I'm just going to give it service image, and I will just go back to JavaScript, and on top here I'm just going to duplicate this one. I call it page image, and document.query selector, and here is a hash, and this one I'll call it service. Let me just copy the ID, and since it's an ID, we can call this one camel case, just like that. Copy this, bring it in the app, just like that. So we have the page image, and if you are doubting, we can first console.log it here, and we see if we have it, and you can see we have it, okay. So what you want to change is its SRC, okay. You can change its SRC. It has like certain properties, but we want to change the SRC. Okay, let's see. We can just say here down that page image.src is equal to this image URL. Let's try that one and see if it works. I'm not so sure, but we can just try it and see. And cool, you can see we have the image being replaced right away, and that is really nice. Okay, that is really nice. And finally, we want to change this service here. When someone is going to type in on the service selected, we should pre-populate it, and here it just is set the value. So let me just get this one, form, the form service. I'm just going to go back to the quote. Okay, inside the form we have the this form field. Now, designing of this form, really we have a lot of tutorials there on the channel, where we are building the forms and even validating them, so you can watch how to make this form. But it is entirely really simple that you can make it. So in this form field, I have just simply label and the input, and that's what is most important. So I want to select this, and it does have it here. I'm just going to call this one maybe form service or something like that, form service, to put a difference. So I'm just going to come here, select this, and go back to JavaScript, and on top let's select it also here, and I'm just going to say form title. So this one you can just say const form title, because this one is the actually like form service title. Maybe it makes sense. Form service title, or form service title is equal to document dot query selector, and want to get this with this ID. Okay, and you can also console.log this one. Now, I always console.log. You may think it is something that is easy, but teach yourself consoling things and see what you get on the console before jumping into things. Okay, so you can see I'm getting the input. So what I want to change its value and put here. Okay, I can just come here, and I also change its value. So I'm just going to say form service title dot value. This one we access it on the value is equal again the service title, just like so. Okay, so if we just do that, it should also populate for us this. And the good thing is that he can add, he can remove it if he's not happy with it. Okay, and the app is right now functioning really properly. Okay, the app is functioning properly. Let's go here, let's test it now. So I'm on web development. I want to click on get quotation. It changes, it takes some time, but it changes everything. You can see I have here web development. Now you could put a spinner, or you could just put when everything has loaded. Okay, these images are really huge, so if you wanted, you can just add a spinner while it is changing. Okay, or you could just put a spinner to the other page, or you could put when every content has loaded, then you load JavaScript. Okay, so here you can just come here and you say web development, you have tested it. Let's test the SEO. So it takes some time, but it changes. And you see, we have all this information now. This person, what he only does is putting his phone number, and then here puts maybe here he puts the name JB web dev, and then here you put your phone number just like that. But that's not my phone number. So you can just put like information like this and then you can submit, but you would have simplified the life of customizing this page, depending, or we are able to send page data from one page to another and extracting it from the URL. Okay, I just that you pause this video, rewatch it many times until you understand this concept. You can rewind back and rewatch until you get it done the way I did it. Okay, so at this point, if you're liking the content, please give it a thumbs up, share, and you can also subscribe if you have not subscribed. And if you have already subscribed, thank you so much. And you can now also turn on a notification bell so that every time I release a new video, you get to be notified. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you have liked it, please share it with others. I will see you in the next one.